Nice. Wow, wow, this is pretty impressive, to be honest. This is insane, to be honest. I did not expect it to be that good, even with the physics and all of that. So as you guys have probably already seen, the new Claude Fable 5 AI model just dropped, and it seems to be a monster in terms of coding, especially in benchmarks like agentic coding. It seems to be very, very good, a lot better than GPT 5.5. But probably anyone who's into software development or software engineer will ask themselves, well, how good is it in real world tasks? And this is what we'll find out today by creating an augmented reality app, which is definitely an advanced use case because it's not so easy to test. I've already seen some web games that are a lot easier, I guess, to test for AI models. But we want to see if we can create a WebXR game using the immersive web SDK from Meta, which is a open source and a free open source tool, and the new Fable 5 model. So without any further ado, let's get started. I created a new blank folder, so there's nothing in here, and I've Claude Code or the Claude Desktop app open here, and we're just gonna give it a prompt. And so in this experiment, I will tell the Fable 5 what I actually want to build, but I would also be extremely interested in the option to simply tell Fable to build an amazing WebXR app. But we're gonna maybe do that in another video. So I'm gonna describe the task, and this will be, please build a fun WebXR game using the immersive web SDK from Meta. I would like to have a game that is about throwing basketballs into hoops. Please think of a fun game loop and mechanics. Please surprise me. All right, so let's see how that is going. And maybe we also want to add the goal so it keeps on working until the condition is met. So I usually use Codex here. And I have made a normal pro $20 subscription. Let's see if that's actually enough to get the game going, because I already know that it consumes a lot of tokens. So yeah, token usage is going up, but we'll see. And by the way, the reason why we're using here WebXR and not something like Unity is because although there's also MCP integrations into Unity, WebXR is still easier to use for AI because it can use the tools it is used to, like Playwright, for example, and also the integration is just still a bit better, but I'm probably sure that this would also or might also work for tools like Unity. So let's see how that goes. I'll definitely keep you posted here. All right, so we are 7 minutes in its coding, and we are about 11% on our plan usage, which is, I guess, already quite a lot, but we'll see. Depending on how the game will actually turn out, that could be worth it or not. We'll see. So I guess now will be the interesting part. Let's see, because it will start the server and run the npm command. I don't know if it will, will it do testing? Well, that already looks pretty good, to be honest. Much better than I expected. How did it even, okay, so these are spheres. Then also did some textures, I guess. I mean, these are all basic primitives, but I would still think like this kind of mesh it even did here. This is pretty cool, to be honest. It's a probably easy 3D vertices and edges specified structure, but still this already looks pretty cool. So let's see how much it will even test this, because this has already been an issue. It needs to press enter XR and then kind of mimic XR controls. That has not been so easy. GPT 5.5 did actually manage to do a little bit of testing here. So here's a UI even, interesting. But it's rather difficult still to test AR, though there are skills actually in the Immersive Web SDK to do testing. So it should be able to do that soonish. But right now it's still a little bit difficult, I guess. So let's see, screenshot, yeah, okay. So I guess, yeah, so that's the screenshot, but it's kind of now testing whether the game starts up and things are running more or less the way they should. But doesn't look too bad. By the way, we are at 41% of the 5-hour usage limit. I heard that they actually expanded on the weekly limit at least when they did their deal with XAI, so maybe it will even be usable. I would probably think that something like this Fable 5 model will probably need to have the Pro plan or something like that to even remotely get like a good weekly usage out of that. But it's also, of course, dependent on how much you use it. So there's another screenshot. But is that actually, I wonder, so it's still not well playing, but here the UI is in the middle. I don't know, maybe it's just the arrangement here. If I'll make that a bit smaller, of course, the UI still is in the middle, right? It doesn't get smaller. Ah, so it now actually is using, seems to be using the emulated living room, which means, which might mean that it's actually testing the XR app. So it seems to have started the game. It's trying to find some entities via ECS, which is quite interesting. And that means that it also kind of accesses the scene hierarchy, which is something you would usually do in Unity manually when being in that scene mode. For example, you could see all 3D objects that have been placed. And it was already always a bit of a pain with web tools, of course. Yeah, if you have some editors, maybe Play Canvas. I'm not sure how that works there, but usually you would be able to set your 3D objects into the scene. But then as soon as you start the game and you would procedurally spawn objects or delete objects, you wouldn't really see that within the actual scene hierarchy. And now with AI, they can actually trace kind of that and see, for example, if an object gets spawned into the scene, then some weird glitch happens and then gets deleted. And if you just pause or stop the scene, it's like nothing ever happened. The AI would now be able to trace that, which is a pretty cool thing, to be honest. So now it's running the core gameplay test, which is super interesting. It's using kind of the, so I guess it's kind of using the AI interaction MCP here to do grabbing and releasing, which is quite interesting. So I don't really know. It would be super cool to actually see that within the browser to see what the AI is doing, but I guess it's not possible. I don't know if I need to trigger some setting here to see that. I'm usually again using codecs, but I think it's not possible right now, I guess. Wow, really interesting. So it is even taking a look whether the ball actually found the hoop, so whether it entered the hoop. Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, if this is already, I mean, maybe it's also, if we test this in a second on device, maybe it will also all not work. But if this will actually work, and if we will have kind of the game the way it looks, and you can actually throw these things and it will work, all of that, that's actually already pretty cool, right? I mean, the thing is, this is still an easy thing to do, right? You could also code this, I guess, within probably an hour or so. So we're already here at 30 minutes. I guess this might take an hour to do like a refined coding thing. And of course, a lot of time would go into testing, but we'll have to do that anyways. The question is always how this will work with more complex or more cutting edge things. But still, honestly, pretty impressive. Oh, wow. Here we can see actually, this means that the AI has actually entered XR, has loaded the virtual environment in augmented reality, and seems to be also moving the controllers here, which you can see. They usually are in the default position left and right. Wow, this is pretty cool, to be honest. I have not seen this before. Well, this gets me excited, so let's see how long it will still take. So here it seems like the hoop is actually moving. Interesting. There's already a streak on there. Oh, it even has like some confetti feedback. And this is pretty cool, to be honest. I gotta say, I also really wonder how that will actually... Oh, I mean, it actually manages to kind of move the controller up here, and there seems to also be some like animation or like some material change in order to guide the player. But I also really wonder on how good actually an AI can define a movement for a controller to actually throw a basketball, right? So I don't know, can it actually do that in a good way? Because you would need to have like this movement, right? And you would need to kind of animate it. So we'll see how that goes. By the way, we're at 32 minutes here, and we're about 50% through our limit and 5% through our weekly limit. I actually thought it would be even worse. I actually thought we would be already burned through that. But we also have kind of only used, I guess, 185k tokens now for the context window, which seems to be pretty fine, to be honest. I mean, probably still a lot, but I thought it was way worse even. And it's done, so that was about half an hour, I guess, that it worked. So let's see what it said here. Okay, Hoop Hero versus Dunkbot is built, verified, and running. You face Dunkbot 3000, a smart little robot that carries a basketball hoop above its head and perches around your action room and AR pass through. 3 basketballs float on a glowing rack in front of you. Grab one, close grip, point at, pull the trigger to force and pull it into hand across the room, then throw. The hoop runs away. The hoop runs away. Every make Dunkbot zips to a new perch. The better you play, the farther and higher it hides. After 8, it will sneak behind you. Wow, that's actually pretty cool, to be honest. There's a streak, a golden rush, trick shot scoring, and it talks trash. That is pretty cool. That's really cool, to be honest. So that's actually surprising. That's something I would have expected in order to surprise me. So, okay, emulation is running. Physics. Okay, cool. Well, let's see how that actually runs, and let's open a terminal here. Let's do npm run dev, and let's see how that's going. Okay, so we're localhost 8081. I'll now actually get my quest here, put it on, and let's see if I can actually play this. So let's do it. So it's already on here. I'm just gonna start the recording in a second. So record video, nice. Oops. And here we go. All right, Hoop Hero versus Dunkbot 3000. Enter VR. Oh, here we go. Can I grab this one already? Oh, I can grab it. Oh, interesting. Huh, that's cool. So then it's falling down. I'm gonna start the game now. All right. Oh, okay, it's jump. Oops. So it's just falling down if I grab it. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, wow. I think it now didn't register that. Oops. Pathetic. That's fun. Okay. Oh, that actually worked. Cool. Wow, amazing. That's pretty cool. Oh, airball. Nice. Wow, wow, this is pretty impressive, to be honest. So the UI is overlaying a bit here, but it actually worked. Wow, this is crazy. This is insane, to be honest. I did not expect it to be that good, even with the physics and all of that. This is pretty much something you could turn into a whole game, I guess. We can already see it's 10 seconds left. I don't know, there are like some hoops here on the left. I don't know what's up with them. Wow. So, yeah. I think we're done playing here. That was insane, actually. This is exactly what I imagined I wanted to have. or I thought about having. So this already looks pretty polished. I would say you would need some polish on the throwing mechanics, that it's like a bit easier to throw. But besides that, this was already pretty impressive. So I didn't expect to have this result. Yeah, so that's the end of the video. I don't know what to say. Pretty impressive result. I still think that it won't replace, software developers, but this was the first time that I was actually pretty impressed without any, any concerns in terms of what it actually. I didn't have to steer it. I didn't have to, tell it, oh, the interaction is not working. It did all of that by itself. So great times we live in, I gotta say. Pretty impressive. And I'm pretty excited to hear what you guys think about it. This will definitely be a pretty cool tool in the future for creating any kind of XR games or apps. We'll have to see, of course, how good it will be if you start adding some real-world interaction and some more complex things. But for what it already did, that's extremely expressive. All right, so that's the end of this video. So I'm pretty interested to hear what you guys think about it. And let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss there. But as always, thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.